There comes a time in life when you must become selective about who you give your time, energy, and kindness to. As you age, your resources, whether financial, emotional, or physical, become finite, and how you choose to use them will determine the quality of the years ahead. If you waste them on the wrong people, you will find yourself depleted, unappreciated, and perhaps even resentful. But if you guard them carefully, you will preserve your dignity, your well-being, and your peace of mind. One of the biggest mistakes older people make is continuing to help those who only come around when they need something. These people disappear for months, sometimes years, only to show up at your door the moment they face a problem. Suddenly they remember your number, your address, your generosity, but they don't visit to see how you're doing. They don't call just to chat. No, they come with a purpose, and that purpose is always themselves. If you keep giving to them, they will keep taking, never stopping to consider what you might need in return. There are also those who have no respect for your time or effort. When you offer them advice, they ignore it. When you lend them money, they waste it. When you sacrifice something for them, they take it for granted. And yet, they always come back, expecting more. These people do not see you as a source of wisdom, experience, or guidance. They see you as a resource, something to be used until it's no longer useful. The moment you stop giving, you will see their true nature because they will leave just as quickly as they arrived. Then there are those who never reciprocate kindness. You may have spent years, even decades, helping them, raising them, supporting them, being there in their hardest times. But when the roles are reversed, when you are the one who needs help, where are they? Suddenly they are too busy, too distracted, too indifferent. And yet the moment they need something again, they will expect you to be there, as if nothing ever happened. These people do not deserve your help in old age. They have proven through their actions that they are not willing to give the same effort in return. Perhaps the most dangerous are those who manipulate through guilt. They will tell you, "You owe me." They will remind you of past mistakes, past failures, past regrets, using them as leverage to get what they want. They will play the victim, acting as though your refusal to help them is a betrayal. But what they don't acknowledge is that true relationships, true respect, is not built on guilt. It is built on mutual care, on shared responsibility, on a foundation of appreciation. The moment someone uses guilt to control you, they are showing you they do not value you as a person, only as a means to an end. There are also those who drain your energy without gratitude. These people are endlessly negative, constantly complaining, always expecting you to listen to their problems, but never willing to listen to yours. They leave you feeling exhausted, emotionally drained, and unappreciated. And no matter how much you give, your time, your support, your encouragement, it is never enough. They will take until there is nothing left of you to take. At this stage of life, you do not need people who deplete you. You need people who uplift you, who respect your limits, who bring something of value into your life. And lastly, never help those who see you as a burden rather than a person. If someone treats you like an obligation, like a problem they have to deal with rather than a human being with thoughts, feelings, and experiences, they do not deserve your presence in their life. You have lived too long, worked too hard, and sacrificed too much to be treated as an afterthought. You deserve dignity, respect, and care. Anyone who does not see that does not deserve a place in your life. At this stage, your priority should not be helping those who take advantage of you. Your priority should be protecting your time, your peace, and your well-being. Choose wisely who you give your energy to, because not everyone deserves it. There are people in life who only appear when they need something from you. They do not check in, they do not ask how you are, and they do not show any genuine interest in your well-being. Yet the moment they face difficulty, they suddenly remember your name, your number, and your kindness. They do not hesitate to reach out, often with an urgent plea, an emotional appeal, or a carefully crafted excuse that makes their requests seem justified. They expect generosity despite offering nothing in return, and they rely on the assumption that you will not refuse them. This pattern does not happen by accident. It is a calculated approach, whether conscious or not. Some people take kindness for granted, assuming that those who have helped them before will always be available to help again. They do not consider the effort, the sacrifice, or the emotional toll their demands place on others. They only focus on their immediate needs, viewing you as a resource rather than a person. They see the relationship not as a two-way street, but as a convenient avenue for their benefit. Over time, these one-sided relationships become draining. You may begin to notice the imbalance, realizing that the only time you hear from certain people is when they need something. They never call just to talk. They never visit without an agenda. There is no mutual investment, no shared concern, no reciprocal care. The relationship, if it can even be called that, is built entirely on their needs and your willingness to meet them. This realization can be painful, but it is necessary to see things clearly. There is a fundamental difference between helping someone in genuine need and being used by someone who only values you for what you provide. True friends, true family, and true relationships involve mutual respect, appreciation, and consideration. When a person only reaches out when they need something, they are revealing their true priorities. They are not interested in your life, your struggles, or your happiness. They are only interested in what you can offer them. It becomes especially obvious when you stop giving. If you say no, if you delay your response, if you do not immediately fulfill their request, you will see a change in their attitude. The warmth disappears, the urgency increases. Some may attempt to manipulate you, using guilt or emotional tactics to get their way. Others may distance themselves entirely, proving that they were never truly invested in the relationship. The moment you are no longer useful to them, they vanish, seeking another source to exploit. Understanding this pattern is crucial for maintaining your dignity and emotional well-being. It is not selfish to expect balance in your relationships. It is not wrong to recognize when someone is using you. In fact, it is a sign of self-respect to set boundaries, to say no, and to refuse to be treated as a convenience. When you begin to enforce these boundaries, you may lose some people, but in reality, you are not losing anything of value. You are simply letting go of those who were never truly there for you. One of the greatest indicators of a meaningful relationship is consistency. A person who genuinely cares about you will be present in both good times and bad. They will not disappear when they have no needs, only to reappear when they do. They will show interest in your life, your thoughts, your struggles, and your successes. They will not treat you as a tool to be picked up and discarded at their convenience. This is the kind of relationship worth nurturing, the kind of connection worth keeping. It is important to recognize that not everyone who asks for help is taking advantage of you. There are those who truly need support, who feel shame in asking, and who deeply appreciate what you do for them. The difference lies in how they treat you outside of their moments of need. Do they express gratitude? Do they check in on you without expecting anything in return? Do they make an effort to be part of your life beyond their requests? If the answer is no, then it is time to reconsider the role they play in your life. The reality is that some people do not value relationships, they value transactions. They assess people based on what they can get, not what they can give. They form connections out of convenience, not genuine care. When you recognize this truth, you gain the power to protect yourself from emotional exhaustion. You stop wasting energy on those who do not appreciate you. You start redirecting your time and efforts toward those who do. Allowing yourself to be used is not an act of kindness. It is an act of self-neglect. If someone only remembers you when they need something, they do not deserve a place in your inner circle. A real relationship, whether friendship or family, is built on mutual effort, mutual concern, and mutual respect. Anything less is not worth your time. The people who truly matter will not disappear when you have nothing to give. They will not measure your worth by what you can provide. They will value your presence, your wisdom, your laughter, and your companionship. They will see you as a person, not as a means to an end. These are the relationships that deserve your attention, your kindness, and your generosity. There is nothing wrong with helping others, but help should be given wisely. If a person only reaches out when they need something, you must ask yourself, is this a relationship or is this a pattern of exploitation? The answer will determine whether they should remain in your life or whether it is time to let them go. There are people who do not ask for things directly, but instead rely on guilt to get what they want. They do not come to you with an honest request. Instead, they frame their needs in a way that makes you feel obligated, ashamed, or even selfish if you refuse. They do not express gratitude, only disappointment when you do not comply. They remind you of past favors, they bring up moments of struggle, and they use emotional weight to ensure you give in to their expectations. Their methods are subtle, sometimes even disguised as concern, but the outcome is always the same. You are left feeling guilty, and they get what they want. These individuals have mastered the art of emotional pressure. They do not demand outright because demands can be rejected. Instead, they create a situation where saying no makes you feel like a bad person. They might say things like, "I guess I'll just have to figure it out alone," or "After everything I've done for you, I thought you'd be there for me." They make their needs seem like moral tests where the only right answer is giving them what they want. It is not about fairness, not about mutual respect. It is about controlling your response through carefully applied guilt. Over time, these tactics wear you down. You find yourself agreeing to things you do not want to do simply to avoid the emotional weight of refusing. You start feeling responsible for their emotions, their struggles, their disappointments. You begin sacrificing your own needs because it seems easier than dealing with the accusations or the passive-aggressive responses. They make sure that every rejection comes with a consequence, whether it is silence, coldness, or a carefully placed comment that lingers in your mind long after the conversation has ended. The worst part is that these individuals often disguise themselves as caring and selfless. They may present themselves as martyrs, people who have always helped others but never received help in return. They remind you of their sacrifices, real or exaggerated, so that you feel compelled to repay them. They may claim they never asked for much, even when they consistently make you feel like you owe them something. They create a dynamic where you are always in debt, always needing to prove yourself, always needing to make up for some unspoken expectation. This kind of manipulation is particularly dangerous in close relationships, family, friends, partners, because guilt is most effective when used by those you care about. When a stranger tries to guilt trip you, it is easy to ignore. But when it is a parent, a sibling, a longtime friend, or